Chapter 3, Pokes and Prods. With Tom and Clancy running by his side, Clancy strained to match them stride for stride. But gliding just as fast as Clancy now were streams of sweat that sprinted from his brow. Their loosened shirts provided some relief from the intense humidity and heat, while pumping arms made flopping sleeves unroll. Their hats were held like loaves of bread they stole. They ran with all the vigor of boys at play. 6 blackened feet were clapping Georgia clay, and denim pant legs swooshed when each stride passed, as if a swishing broom was sweeping fast. To reach the river was all their hearts desired, and so they didn't stop, though muscles tired. Yet waiting in the road to block their path were wolves in ivy caps with hunter's wrath. These were the privileged boys who had received the deacon's favor with an early leave. Macree, the Sullivans, and Walsh made 4, and Clancy saw that Blaine still wanted war. Blaine's frowny face was like a freckled frog's. His nose was wide and turned up like a hog's. Red shaggy hair no pomade could maintain grew from his ivy cap as if a mane. These larger teens were at a different stage than were the country boys 12 years of age. 4 bulky town boys walked around them scowling. The battle-hungry predators were growling. The country boys began to roll their sleeves like threshers gathering and binding sheaves. The 3 were trapped, but forged a trigon form, backs pressed together, bracing for a storm. Thomas Morey was the bigger twin, with cheeks that dotted dimples when he'd grin, but grins were absent in this roadside meeting, just narrowed eyes were offered as a greeting. His prepubescent muscularity was counted by the youths a rarity, and for that rather boyish, simple reason, the ivy caps considered Tom the chieftain. Thomas was first to speak within the trap. "Easy now, I ain't looking for no scrap," Blaine said. "This scrap is looking for you. I say you next has got it coming, too. Y'all still owe us for the slack we gave you. Ain't no Miss Millie round this time to save you. Y'all so poor you'd feast upon a mouse. So open wide, my fist is on the house." Though Tom and Clancy felt his pokes and prods, they showed restraint because uneven odds. But Terence couldn't possibly resist and let the townie get away with this. "How about I break your townie neck, you cuss?" Blaine laughed. "It's like the runt to pitch a fuss." Thomas corrected Terence with a push. He clenched his jaw and said through teeth, "You shush." The boys all knew that fathers told their sons that any fights with fists or taunting tongues would be allowed and punishments were spared, as long as the first punch wasn't theirs. So Blaine agreed to have a verbal duel. He sought their fire, and words would be the fuel. "How come it is the scrawny half-pint of ninny necks who always starts the fight?" "Your mama sure don't think that I's the runt." Then Thomas pushed his brother with a grunt and said, "You put a dadgum pin in it, and don't go bringing mamas into it." Terence felt he was a master of the scheme of slurring mothers till one's ears would steam. If Blaine would lose his cool, he'd lose the battle. So Terence tried again to shake the rattle. He said, "Your ugly mamas will be sighing to see y'all come home nose broke and crying." So Blaine Macree upheld his mother's honor. "Your mama's like a toad with warts upon her." To Clancy this was a quite predictable scene. They'd first attack her looks, physique, and hygiene, comparing moms to cows and elephants, before belittling her intelligence. And Terence said on cue, "You're one to talk, Your scabby mama's got them chicken pox. Your mama wipes her bottom with her hand and chews and spits tobacco like a man. Then Terence drew his biggest weapon. Shucks, your mama tried to pay me $5 just for a smooch, and so I kissed her raw. I figure now you ought to call me Pa. Blaine said, Your mama smells just like the dead. She tried to kiss me, but I turned my head. Pew-wee, I reckon necks ain't much for bathing. In your mama's chin is due a shaving. So Terence said, Your mama is so lazy that we all figured her to be a Yankee. That pig's so plump from cake and butter bread, I had to roll the fatty out of bed. That digger caused the Sullivans to laugh, but daggers from Blaine's eyes split them in half. His mother was, in truth, a larger woman, who even without bustle packed a cushion. The laughing townies choked their chuckles down as Terence smirked, convinced he'd won that round. Though Terence had some truthful cards to lay, McShay still had an ace in hand to play. Terence's temper had a shortened wick, and nothing would ignite it quite as quick as when a person dared to pluck the cherry, regrettably miscalling him by Terry. Blaine said, Your mama is an inbred gypsy who guzzles down the moonshine, always tipsy. The drunk had reckoned that she had a girl and named her daughter Terry. Give that a whirl. Terence rumbled with guttural growls. His lips turned down and cheeks became like jowls. He charged, but Terry's leash ran out of slack as Tom and Clancy yanked to hold him back. They felt they had a twister by a rope as Terence fought their every grab and grope. Blaine beaked his hand like puppeting a goose. Terence said with fury, Let me loose! The townie taunted, Let him loose then, Tommy, and watch me paint her eyes up nice and bonny. But Thomas said, If we's to set him free, we'd all jump in, you'd have to fight us three. And yeah, your boys would probably lay the wood, but not before we'd mess your face up good. Clancy said, Your pa won't win the vote parading around a son with a busted nose. A sobering look came over Blaine McShay, just for a moment, then it fell away. Them skeeters pack a wallop more than you. Just throw a punch, Macree, I beg you to. He pointed to his chin. Go ahead, Macree. He closed his eyes and leaned. The first one's free. Though Clancy wisely didn't take the bait, Terence shouted, Let me smash that plate! We'd pound you necks and dump you in the river. Just 3 drowned cats found netted by the fisher. And none in Cartersville would pay respects, 'cause they'd be glad they rid of 3 more necks. While holding Terence, Clancy said, Enough! If all y'all bring home a little scuff, you'd all get licks much worser from your mother than all y'all could slug out of each other. Ain't none y'all would want to start the summer cooped up at home like some old coughin' lunger. So y'all go on. We're fixin' to do the same. To get no punishment and bear no shame. The only prison worse than school was home, while knowing other boys were free to roam. The sanctity of golden summer play was far too prized to even miss a day. And so to part the prideful groups agreed, yet future passes were not guaranteed. Although their lasting words were burned and branded, not a single punch was thrown or landed.